Nelson Mandela himself remains on life support here at the hospital behind me. The matter of his eventual death and funeral are becoming a major issue as the family wrangles over where he's to be buried. A clash between his son and heir and the rest of the family over the burial site is, according to tribal elders, disturbing the spirits of his ancestors and preventing Mandela's spirit itself from passing on, as our Foreign Affairs correspondent Jonathan Miller now reports.
An African medley rises over Avalon, the necropolis that serves Soweto. It's a medley of intertwining beliefs and traditions of tribes and clans and religions. Death is not dealt with lightly here. When someone moves on to join the ancestors, he or she will be deemed even more powerful when dead. But to the dismay of many South Africans, the end of Nelson Mandela's long life has become a source of great conflict. Elders of the Kingdom of Tembu, to which he belongs, say his spirit cannot be released until the vicious disputes of his feud-riven family are solved.
There is life after death. It goes on and on and on. Each time there is a problem with a family, the first thing is to check with the ancestors. What is it that we did wrong?
This is Chief Mandla Mandela, his grandfather's heir apparent. He's an African National Congress MP and a big man, although the king of the Tembu brands him as scoundrel. 2 years ago, Mandela secretly moved the bones of 3 of his ancestors, including those of his father, from the family graveyard in Kunu, where Nelson Mandela said he wanted to be laid to rest. He reburied them in Mvezo, 20 miles down the road, where Mandela has now built a palace and cultural village with government and lottery handouts. Last Tuesday, Mandela Mandela stormed out of a family meeting here in Kunu, where, after consulting the ancestors, they demanded the bones be exhumed and moved back. It's one of 2 ugly family disputes which have gone to the courts and appalled this nation as the old patriarch waits to join the ancestors.
There's a belief that when, in isiXhosa they say the big tree is falling, So he's fragile, he's not well. So there is a belief that when a person remains in what we call a liminal stage, a stage of in-between, where he's neither recovering or actually passing on. Right. There's a belief that people then need to ask themselves, is there anything we can do to ease his way?
All those who call Nelson Mandela Tata, or father, would breathe a collective sigh of relief if the arguments ended, quelling the wrath of the ancestors, releasing his spirit. We know that Nelson Mandela had confronted his demons years ago and was reconciled to what lay ahead. He cited his favourite poem, Invictus, Latin for undefeated, as his great inspiration. It talks of courage in the face of death and gives us a clue as to how Nelson Mandela himself viewed death. One of the final stanzas goes, "Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me, unafraid."